The following video is going to have talks of gore in it and a little bit of like horror stuff. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey guys, welcome back to the CharmingAnalysis Podcast, our Halloween Spectacular.
Ooh. Ghosty zombies and blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Anyway, so tonight is going to be a triple feature. We decided to do 3 different movies for this podcast, and we're going to do a review on them.
And the dog's barking.
It's okay. Excuse the background noise. Anyway, so which one? Okay, so the movies we're going to be doing are... Okay, we got... Oh, what was the first one again? I forgot what the first
BeetleJuice.
one. Oh, yeah. I forgot for some reason.
Wow.
My mind went blank.
Your mind just went...
My mind farted and left existence.
Yes.
Anyway, so for our triple feature tonight, we're going to be talking about BeetleJuice. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about Corpse Bride. Mm-hmm. And we're also going to be talking about Hellfest.
All right.
So which one do you want to talk about first, honey?
We'll just go in order.
All right. So the first one we're going to talk about is the 1980s version of BeetleJuice. Not the musical, the actual movie.
Okay.
So why don't you tell them what BeetleJuice is about, honey?
It's about... I can't remember the names to any of these fucking characters in any of these movies we watch. But a couple dies tragically, and they're forced to watch other people that they don't like move into their house, so they try to scare them away. And when that doesn't work, they call in BeetleJuice, who is a exorcist dead guy who
is very creepy.
And there's a goth girl in it.
Yeah.
That's what the gist of Oregon.
Yeah, so it's basically about them trying to get their house back.
Yes.
Is what the movie's technically about.
Yes.
Because we've personally seen the musical before this, so we have an idea of what it's about and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But this was the first time both me and JC have actually seen the movie.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, like, I'm kind of...
I don't think my parents would have let me watch a movie like this when I was a kid, though.
I would probably not even watch this movie as a kid. You are going to literally break that. Don't do it. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, so I guess what are your thoughts on the movie?
It's a good source for like other people to do adaptations of it. I don't think it deserves much of the big ass cult following. It definitely deserves a cult following, but I don't think it deserves the huge amount of cult following stuff that it does. Yeah.
Yeah, because this movie came out in the 80s, so this is one of like the older movies on our list that we did for today, because we wanted to...
Older Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, it's an older Tim Burton movie, but I've been wanting to see this because I actually really like the musical for BeetleJuice, but this is the first time I've ever seen the movie. I've only seen clips of it here and there, so this is the first time I've actually wanted to see the movie, because we might as well, since it's Halloween anyway, we might as well watch it and give you guys a little review on it for those who haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you guys like it, then go watch it, or stuff like that. Anyway, so
what did we think of BeetleJuice?
Well, for me, I thought it was all right. I don't think it was like the best of the horror movies we've seen. Like, I don't find it bad, but I if I had to pick between the musical and the movie, I think the musical does a better job with this.
Well, the musical has a lot. When the musical plays up with the humor a lot more.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell that it was made like
to show humor.
Yeah, you can tell definitely it was made by like more comedic style. It was going for more of like the zany cartoon.
Yeah.
Than it was for the people who were the
original fans.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if I had to pick between the musical for this franchise or, well, it's technically not a franchise, it's technically a movie. Uh-huh. But it does have other adaptations to it. So would I technically consider that a franchise?
Yeah, Beetlejuice is technically a franchise.
Okay, then. So that's technically a franchise. So, because besides the musical, this was the only other movie we've seen of Beetlejuice. I know they had a Beetlejuice cartoon, but we've never seen it. Mm-hmm. So, my first experience with Beetlejuice was the musical, because you introduced me to it. Mm-hmm. So, and that's something I still really like to this day. I still like the musical. I still think it's really good. And I like that version of Beetlejuice a lot better than this one. This one kind of made him really, really creepy. I know that's supposed...
This is the original version, though.
I know he's supposed to be creepy, but they kind of made it a little bit too creepy for my personal taste.
No, he's supposed... Well, I mean, you could argue that's why he's the villain, because he's supposed to be that way, but... And again, some people want to fantasize Beetlejuice, and that's just...
It's just kind of how
kind of destroys what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I guess because like people just grew up with this movie and they have like a fascination with it. This is like, you know, when you see the Beetlejuice costume, you know what that means. And when you see Lydia's costume, goth costume, you know what that means. Like these costumes are like iconic. This whole set is iconic. Like the art direction is iconic. It's one of Tim Burton's earliest films, so yeah. This is where most of his stuff came from.
I will admit, though, that I did like how they did the setting and the scenery for this movie. I do think it's really good, but I still favor the musical over this, personally, just because of the way they interpret it in the musical compared to the movie. I feel like in this one... Like, in the musical, they made Lydia hate her dad more. Well, this one, we don't really see much interaction between her and her dad. Yeah. Which is kind of sad.
I think that's just how... I think that's just... A lot of older movies have a lot more of a slower pace. Yeah. And they don't, they don't build up to something really all that, like, grand. It's more artistic. Yeah. It's more of an artistic climax and a big grand climax. It's more about showing something cool or terrifying than it is like showing something big and like grandioso.
I understand. So I guess, what are some things you like about this movie and what are some things you dislike about it?
Well, I like the couple. Like the
That's
couple
true.
is really, really nice. They're really sweet. I like how they're concerned about Lydia and like
This couple's probably the movies. It's weird. The movie's adaptation of the couple, I like more than the musical's adaptation of the couple.
Yeah, I did too.
Like
they made the couple in the musical, I believe, to be a little bit too much of white class suburbia.
Yeah. Well, this one, they were kind of more, like, homey, like, out in the country kind of people. Yeah. But there's some things here. This is the thing, though. I don't completely downplay the movie compared to the musical.
Well, you could tell that in the musical, it's more Lydia's story. It follows more of what Lydia's story in the musical than it does in... this version where it follows the couple's story.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like,
the couple in the musical, I've not seen the musical on stage. I've only heard it.
Yeah.
But it seems like it really does seem like the musical is more on Lydia's favor than in the couple's favor.
Yeah, and that's the thing I was kind of surprised at when I did see the movie. Uh-huh. I thought there was going to be, like, more of Lydia being involved in it, but it's not. That's not a bad thing, though. Like... There's some things that I like that the movie does, and there's some things I like that the musical does. Even though I overall like the musical better, there was some things in the movie I did like. I did like that we got to see the couple side of the whole thing. I also did like their relationship with Lydia. I thought it was really sweet and stuff like that. That's something that I'm happy that they did in this adaptation of the movie. Mm-hmm. Because... I feel like the musical didn't have that, because I know Lydia was kind of, like, missing like a mom figure or like a like parental figures in general that weren't her actual dad, because her actual dad was a fucking douchebag in like the musical, which kind of sucks. So I'm glad in this one they had some kind of parental figures helping her through her stuff instead of like just Beetlejuice mainly doing it. Yeah. Like in the musical, even though I did like that dynamic in the musical. However, with this one, like the movie one, I do like the couple and how they help Lydia through the situation more than Beetlejuice does. So
Beetlejuice is not really in it all that much.
Which is why is it called Beetlejuice? Is the thing I want to know. Why the fuck was it called Beetlejuice if he's barely even in it?
Because it's a more marketable thing than probably a white suburban couple.
I know, but still, like, he was literally only in the movie for like not even like half of the movie. He was literally in it for like a third of the movie, and that's it. All the rest of it was focused on the couple trying to scare everybody, and that's it. Mm-hmm. That's literally what most of the movie's about. Like, I feel like with the movie, I don't like the direction that the story went, but I do like the little things about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, so did we already talk about what we dislike about it, technically?
I don't know. I mean, the only thing that there really is, like, well, there's not enough Beetlejuice in it. And it's just more of, like, movies that were made in the time. Like, type of criticisms, but
also, young Alex Baldwin looks so fucking different.
Yeah, he really does.
I didn't even recognize him at first because of the glasses. I recognized him not wearing glasses at all. So the fact that I was like, wait, are you sure that's him? And then I saw the glasses being taken off. I'm like, fuck, that is him.
Yeah.
I did not recognize him. And it was weird seeing a younger version of him, which is kind of funny. Oh my goodness.
Your phone is like...
I have it on silent. That's what I don't understand. Anyway, so... Okay, so last thing about this, and then we'll give our rating for this movie, and then move on to the next one.
Okay.
So from what we know of, there is no, like, modern version of Beetlejuice, at least right now. The only modern thing...
No remake. No official movie remake.
No official movie remake. Because the only kind of, like... reboot in quotes that they've done was the musical, which came out last year, I believe. That's like the only thing that they've really done a reboot for Beetlejuice. However, I feel like they should make a reboot for the movie. So what do you think they should do if they reboot the movie? How do you think they should put the direction toward it? And do you think a Beetlejuice reboot would work?
I think it would work. It just depends on how you would do it. I wouldn't know how to personally do a Beetlejuice remake today. I think they would have, like, people will tone it down a lot more, and I don't... Well, we already have a remake. It's called The Fucking Musical. And if you wanted to make an actual, like, another remake of it, I think they're just gonna kind of tone it down. I don't think Beetlejuice was made to really be anything all that, like...
good.
Special.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just...
It's just a cult classic.
It's just an average cult movie. Like, it's just an average cult movie, and I don't think it really, like, deserves to be more than that.
Yeah. I'm just saying...
Like most of, like, Tim Burton's works, it's, like, it's small in it's small in concept, but people obsess with it for a lot of reasons.
Was Tim Burton involved in the musical version?
I don't know.
Okay, because this is the thing. Like, the reason I bring up this is because there's been a lot of remakes of really old, scary, like, horror movie characters. Uh-huh. So, I didn't know if they should remake this one technically, because...
It's more of a concept than anything.
Yeah, but, like, I don't consider the musical a reboot of it, because it's a musical. It's doing something that's not the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a movie, it's a musical. So, they have musical versions of all kinds of stuff. I consider that completely different from an actual movie. So, because if you think about it, like, Candyman's getting a reboot, like a remake or reboot or something, They're getting like a modern movie. Invisible Man got a modern movie. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that did. Is there any other ones that did recently?
Every single slasher villain has ever had a movie ever.
Have they gotten like reboots?
Yes, a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
So yeah, like I feel like this is one movie that should be getting that should get a reboot. Personally, just because I feel like it's the oddball out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I feel like it deserves to have a chance to have, like, either a second movie or, well, probably not a second movie. Probably, like, a reboot, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I think if they... I don't understand the tropes where the people make a movie really, like, back then and they decide to make a second one, like, several years later. I never understood that. If you're going to make a second movie or, like, another movie to the franchise, do it, like, a couple years after the first one. Why spend, like, 10 years later doing it?
I don't know.
I never understood that.
Just because people are hesitant to make a movie, like, sequels rarely work. And I think people don't want to ruin a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, BeetleJuice is nothing great, but I think Tim Burton, even though he was in the talks of making one, I just don't think he wants to. He already would have made it if he wanted to.
Yeah,
but think about it, Tim Burton's not the type of person to go out and make sequels anyway.
That's true, but I know, but not like a sequel, but like a remake to the movie. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think he's like one of those people that are just like...
Doesn't want to do it.
He has a style, and he wants to explore it with every single movie and not have to worry about sequels.
That's a good point.
Or remakes or anything like that.
Okay, so...
Even though it's the same fucking character, because honestly, how many fucking Tim Burton movies are there with the main protagonist has black hair?
A lot.
A lot.
Well, minus...
And Johnny Depp. And Helena Bonham Carter. And literally every...
Yeah, literally Johnny Depp's in almost every one of, like, his movies. Which surprises me that he's in literally almost every fucking one. And it's like, are you two, like, close friends or something?
Probably. He has to be. He's putting on white makeup and shit.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess what do you rate the movie for BeetleJuice?
The movie for BeetleJuice, I would give 6 out of 10.
You give it a 6 out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would probably give it a 6 out of 10 as well.
Okay.
Like, it's not bad, but I feel like there's stuff that they could have improved on it. Like, I feel like they should have half went one direction, half went with another. You know what I mean? I'm trying to explain it in a good way. I don't know if I'm explaining it well.
No, you're good.
But I feel like they could have taken it in a different direction for, like, the other half. They shouldn't have just focused on the couple. If they were going to focus... If for this movie, they should have focused on the couple, Lydia, and BeetleJuice. Not just one of them for, like, majority of the movie, then the other two, like, scattered everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's like you're getting a big bowl of ice cream and then putting only, like, sprinkles on half of it. You know what I mean? You gotta put sprinkles on the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Not just half. That's kind of what I mean. Anyway, that's for BeetleJuice. Next one we're going to talk about is Corpse Bride.
Alright, Corpse Bride.
So, why don't you explain what it is?
A man and a woman are engaged to be married within less than a day. The man can't say his vows. He runs into the woods. He says his vows perfectly while reciting them. And accidentally gets married to a corpse.
Yeah, and basically they're trying to reverse it. Kind of thing. Right? Are they trying to reverse it, or?
Well, she thinks she's actually in love. He wants to reverse it.
Yeah. It's like a one-sided love kind of thing. So, I guess, what are your thoughts on Corpse Bride? Because I've only seen parts of it here and there. This was the first time I actually saw the full movie through. So, what do you think of Corpse Bride?
I think...
You think what?
It's a very short movie. So, like, it only clocks in at, like, an hour and 10 minutes. So, that's a very short movie in and of itself.
It's the shortest movie we watched today.
Yeah, but...
Which kind of is, like, surprising.
This is more along the lines of something that a higher version of a Rankin Bass cartoon,
Yeah.
you could say. I would say that out of every stop motion Tim Burton movies, is actually the least impactful, I'd say.
Yeah.
But like I liked it better probably when I was a kid than I do now, because now I just find it a little bit boring. But I mean, it's still, I don't know, it's still the colors and like, I guess the way that it just kind of like, it's not one of those movies to where it's like takes place in modern time. It takes place in like the English era, like
1700s maybe.
I don't know, 15, something like that. It just takes place in old English times, and like I admire something like that coming out. I don't think it's much entertaining now, but I think someone somewhere could get something out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have that score, honestly, the piano score, and that's already beautiful enough
On its own.
Yeah, and like, I think Remains of the Dead is such a good song. I think it's one of Danny Elfman's best songs that he has ever written.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. It's a pretty good song. But personally for me, I thought this movie was okay. I don't think it's the best Tim Burton film that he's made.
There's better Halloween kids movies out there.
Yeah, there's better ones in my opinion. But this isn't bad. It's just, I feel like it was lacking something. I just can't put what it's lacking technically. I just don't know what exactly it is. I feel like they could have done more with it, but they just didn't. Like, the fact that, I think her name was Emily. The fact that Emily, as soon as, like, she finds Victor and stuff, she automatically just head over heels, not even giving it a thought, while he's just kind of like, I kind of see more of their thing as a friendship more than actual marriage. Mm-hmm. Their thing is more like a friendship that should have just stayed a friendship.
Well, I think this movie is just kind of rushed a little bit to where you don't really get any sense of feeling for
anybody.
Yeah,
like, it did definitely rush stuff, because literally,
that's why I call it Rankin Bass storytelling, because it's just really quick. Because Rankin Bass animations are really, really like 30 minutes tops, and like I think this was a Rankin Bass. Like, I know it wasn't probably made by Rankin Bass, but it's kind of has the same tropes.
It has something similar to it.
Yeah, it does a lot.
Because, like, with this one, the couple's literally getting married in a fucking day. And they get introduced to each other, like, at the beginning of the movie. And it's like, how do you expect someone to know how they're going to feel in a day? And I will never understand the idea of arranged marriages, personally. I will never understand it. Also, like, I will admit, the character designs are really good, but I feel like that's the only thing that is really good about the movie. It's just the way they do the character designs and the way they do the animation and stuff. But that's really it. Like,
I don't think really much to say about Corpse Bride. It's just kind of always just been there. It's been there in Tim Burton's film category.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's a dark subject for a kids movie to talk about, of all things, but
yeah.
Whatever. We've had other horror. I wish they would bring back horror animation. To be completely honest, kind of stopped when Paranorman came out, and it hasn't reclaimed anything since. So
yeah, Likee needs to do more horror stuff.
Not just Likee, and not just stop
I think
motion.
I think Likee also helped with this.
Likee helped a lot with it, but I want more horror stuff for kids out there. I don't think we get enough.
Yeah.
I honestly think
we either get like one or two, but like every like couple years.
Yeah. Remember? Okay, I gotta like bring back 2012, because that year we had Paranorman, we had Hotel Transylvania, and we had Frankenweenie. 3 Halloween movies
that were really good.
Good Halloween movies that came out the exact same year, and yet nothing from Deadly Squad from literally anything since. So
yeah, I feel like it's one of those genres that sadly we don't get much for it. But I feel like that would be a good topic video we could do.
Yeah, it would
you know what I mean? I feel like that would be a good topic video, along with like the idea of doing sequels like way later than they're supposed to.
Yeah,
I feel like those would be good topic videos we could do. If you guys want to hear us do topic videos for those two ideas, comment down below and let us know.
Yeah,
because we'd be happy to do that. Because I have a lot of thoughts about sequels being made like several years later, kind of thing.
But God, no, I just want to go see. I just want to go see those movies again. To be honest, I would rather see any of those movies than Corpse Bride. Honestly.
Yeah. So, okay. So I guess since he's not. It's very unlikely he's gonna remake it because
Corpse Bride is animation. Animation's harder to remake than Even though Disney does it all the time.
Disney does it all the time.
Disney's an IP. They can do that.
Yeah.
Nothing else can really do that.
Also, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has gotten so many cartoon reboots.
What does that have to do with anything that we're talking about?
That counts.
Yeah, but like one live action franchise being made of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and nobody remembers it. No one gives a shit about the live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Some people do. I know people that did.
Oh, I'm sure you did. But
I watched the live action ones.
Good for you. I don't fucking remember them.
I gotta get you to watch some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. They're good. Some of them are good.
Okay, good for you.
And also, I gotta show you the cartoons. The Nick one is my favorite of the adaptations, personally. I gotta get you to watch at least the Nick one.
Look at Mari trying to get me into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Something that I was never into as a kid.
I loved the 2012 Nick version's like the best one in my opinion.
I never got into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, yeah. So, what would you rate Corpse Bride?
Corpse Bride in general, it's lower tier to me. So, I would probably give it I'm sad to say this, but probably a 5 or 4.5 or 5 out of 10.
I give it a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10?
Yeah.
You give it a 5 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, around 4.5, 5 out of 10. It's lower tier Tim Burton movie.
It's lower tier Tim Burton movie and lower tier Halloween kids movies.
Yeah.
Because I think the kids wouldn't find this really interesting.
Yeah. It's not a bad movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie.
There's other better Halloween
There's better ones that stand out more than this.
The moth's still there.
Yeah. Hello, moth. Anyway, there's better movies out there. Can you stop staring at the moth?
No.
Honey, it's a moth.
Oh, it's beautiful.
We're going to get so sidetracked with
What if the moth actually gets caught in the webs?
If it does, you're taking care of it. I'm not. Anyway, so it's one of those movies where it's it doesn't stand out compared to others. I'll be honest. It doesn't stand out compared to other Tim Burton movies. There's other movies out there that have had way more of an impact than Corpse Bride. And I'm not trying to downgrade the movie. I'm just saying, if you're going to pick a Halloween movie to watch from Tim Burton, this one's probably one you may not want to watch. It's not bad, but if you want to see, that movie, then go for it, but we don't really recommend it.
Yeah.
We recommend, I think if I had to pick one Tim Burton movie that you guys should definitely check out, that we probably should do a review on, is probably Frankenweenie. I would watch that again.
I want to watch. I really want to watch all of them. I want to watch all of them, man.
We'll have to see how many we can get through.
I know, but I want to watch all. I don't care.
We'll probably have to watch some this year and then some next year.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's our review for Corpse Bride. Last one we're going to be doing for the podcast is one that JC actually wanted to see and decided to let us watch tonight because we watched Candyman yesterday.
Hellfest.
We're gonna watch. We watched Hellfest, which came out 2 years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
Which came out 2 years ago, and literally the only reason you picked is because Tony Todd was in it.
I know Tony Todd wasn't a main character.
I know that, but
he just was in it.
He was
somewhere.
in it. You just wanted to see the boy in it.
He was in it somewhere.
Yeah. Which I thought he was going to be more in it than he did. But I'm glad he made a cameo appearance in it.
I knew he wasn't a killer, and I knew he wasn't the main.
I thought he was going to be the killer for sure.
People would be talking about it if he was.
Still, like... Anyway.
Yeah, Hellfest, pretty much group teenagers go to a horror theme park, and then there happens to be a killer in the theme park that hunts them one by one. There, that's your premise.
Yep, that's basically the synopsis of it. So, I guess, what are your thoughts on Hellfest?
I think this is like a great setting for a horror movie if you were gonna set it in one. I think it just kind of gets burned out by the pacing of the movie because it starts
off really slow.
It starts out really, 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 really slow.
Like, literally, I think...
literally, the first 2/3 of it, which is most of the movie, but let me get to that. 2/3 of the movie is kind of stalking, and then the rest is...
killing pretty much
everybody.
The
rest of it just kind of pushes by real quickly. And then you get to the twist ending, and it's like, oh, shocker, and then it ends. Like...
It ends, like, so suddenly.
Yeah, it ends so suddenly, too.
And out of nowhere. Like, we'll talk about the ending when we get to the end of the video, because there is going to be spoilers for this, so be mindful if you're going to watch this part of the video. There will be spoilers, because I don't think we can really... There's some movies you can get away without saying spoilers, but this is not one of those movies.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies where you kind of have to spoil the ending. Yeah. And that's the sad truth. With some movies, you kind of have to spoil the ending when you're reviewing some movies, just because of the way that the movie is. So, okay, so I guess, what is something about Hellfest you liked and something you disliked?
I already just listed it.
Okay, do you have any other ones that you can think of? Oh, it's not an answer.
But it's a very kind of... I think all the movies that we saw today are kind of average.
Yeah.
To below average. Like, they're just
kind of there.
Yeah, they're just kind of there. And there's nothing wrong with that being...
the kind of movie it is.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with it. It's just one of those things to where it knows what it is, and it does it very quickly. None of them really waste my time, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah. This is one of those movies where, like, unlike Candyman that we... like, the Candyman franchise that we reviewed, like, earlier... well, the first one was good, while the second two sucked. They sucked ass. And that's sad for me to say, because we adored the first fucking movie. Mm-hmm. This is one of those ones where, like, it's not bad, but I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. It's not bad, but I feel like it's like how they did with Corpse Bride, where it's missing something that I can't put my finger on. I feel like it's just missing something. But I will say this, though, and this is a fun fact for the movie. There's actually a non-binary actor in this movie. And I'm so fucking happy. We finally have some non-binary people in voice acting and shit. I'm so fucking happy. Because you don't see that much.
Oh, it's CBS, and they're not opposed to giving non-binary actors roles.
The only other
I've seen at least several of their productions have non-binary people in them.
You gotta show me some of these movies, because I would like to see more of these.
TV series.
Whatever, you know what I mean. Anyway, the only one I can think of off the top of my head that's not from Steven Universe, because I know a couple non-binary characters from Steven Universe, like Shep is non-binary. I think there's like one other character that's non-binary, but I know Shep is definitely one of them. Mm-hmm. And the only other one I can think of off the top of my head is Double Trouble from She-Ra.
Yeah, but
those are the only two Human, not really. Well, Shep is human.
Shep is human.
Shep is a human, honey.
Yeah.
He's not a crystal gem or anything. He's literally a human.
Yeah, and that counts.
Yeah, but...
not fucking shapeshifters.
But still, they go by non-binary.
Yeah, they go by non-binary.
Which is nice, because you don't see that much nowadays. Like, you rarely
You
see
do
that.
with people that are not human. You don't see it with humans. And I think that
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I think that they should put humans more in these types
And
of
other
productions.
and other people in general that are like other parts of the LGBT spectrum besides like non-binary. Like, they could have like a trans person or like, you know, a gender fluid person. They need to have more LGBT people doing stuff
I'm sure
like
they
that.
do.
But then we just don't know.
But they're playing roles.
Yeah.
First off, they're
and
playing
that's
roles,
fine.
so.
That's fine. And we also need like more LGBT characters in general. Like, mainly ones I would like to see.
Okay, you're going into a whole tangent.
Okay, fine. I'll save it for another video. Okay, so if you guys want to hear about that as well for a video, comment down below. I want to know if you guys are interested in different kinds of stuff. Because we do, besides podcast stuff, we do want to do topic videos. Right, honey? So we just want to know your feedback on what kind of topic videos you guys would like us to do. Because it would be different than our podcasts and stuff like that. We would actually like have something playing in the background, and we would actually be like, you know, talking about different topics and stuff. So if it's something you guys are interested in, please let us know, because we'd be more than happy to do that, right, honey?
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Hellfest. So that was something I thought that was interesting about Hellfest, that we actually had a non-binary actor in the movie, which I didn't know. I thought that was cool. And something that I feel like they should have done in the movie, we never get to see who the fucking killer is. You never get to see his face. All you see is the fucking mask the whole time. And when he takes off his mask, you see the back of his fucking head. You don't even see who it is. I feel like they should have showed who he was. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which, that kind of pissed me off a bit, because I was like, I want to know who this fucking guy is. Before I figured out it wasn't Tony Todd, I thought it was fucking Tony Todd. And then I saw the hand, and I'm like, nope, that's not him. Yeah. Fuck.
I thought you could see it when he first entered the park. He definitely showed his skin color.
I couldn't see it because of the light. The lighting was kind of weird, so I couldn't really tell.
I could tell that because it wasn't his build. It's not his height.
Because I was like, fuck, why can't it be him?
Oh, it's not him.
I wish it was. I think that's one thing that makes me not like the movie as much. The fact that they didn't put Tony Todd as that. That is like his fucking thing. That's his fucking thing.
I know, but it's not the role I guess he wanted to be in, because that probably would have been too obvious.
He literally played Candyman.
He did.
3 times. And he was the morticianer 3 times, I think, in Final Destination. Right?
Yeah,
it was 3 times. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like, this movie's one of those things to where I'm trying to figure out how to explain it.
It's there.
It's just there. I feel like
there. I think it has great production design, but other than that, it's
kind of blah.
Yeah.
The scares honestly did get me though. Which
Not for me.
It got me a couple times, which I was surprised at. I didn't expect half of them. And also the fact that the guillotine scene with, I think their name was Taylor, right? The non-binary person was playing a character named Taylor, right? Yeah. Taylor's fucking death. Oh my gosh.
They technically didn't die.
Well,
they got stabbed.
Still. But the fact that she literally got the guillotine and still fucking lived. That's the thing I was surprised at. And I was happy that she lived. Well, I mean, they lived, whatever. That they lived in the movie and stuff like that. But the fact that they got stabbed literally like 2 minutes later, it pissed me off. It pissed me off so much. It's like, what the fuck? And then the security guard doesn't even believe anybody of the main cast. Are you good?
Yeah.
Like, the security guard never believed anybody. And I'm like, that's your fucking job. You're supposed to protect people. I know you're in a fucking horror, like, amusement park, but you should have at least be protecting people. Like, that was stupid. That's, like, stupidity at its finest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that bothered me so much. That fucking bothered me. Just the fact that the security guard doesn't even believe the person. Just... Why is that a trope?
I don't know.
Why is that a fucking trope in these movies? Why? I just don't get it. There's some tropes I never understand in movies. And this is one of them. Like, law enforcement in general not believing anybody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Am I the only one that's, like, bothered by this?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Especially now, I think. It's just...
Especially, like, in today's time.
Yeah.
With, like, stuff like that. It's just... It bothers me. It bothers me to my fucking core. And I'm really trying not to go on a tangent, but it gets me so mad. Anyway, okay. So, since this is only one movie... I really feel like it's not good enough to have a sequel. What do you think? Do you feel like it could have had... Do you think if a sequel would have...
There'll be a sequel, it will be shitty.
Yeah, because if they did a sequel, I feel like it's going to be even worse than this. And that's kind of saying a lot. Especially since some of the other horror movies we've seen that have had sequels have been kind of shitty. I'm not going to lie. But some sequels in general are actually good. It's just, you kind of have to look through all the bad ones to find the good ones. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some of them, like, are better than others. Like, I can think of, like, 2 or 3 off the top of my head that I personally thought were good. Shrek 2 I thought was good. That was probably a good sequel I liked. Even though the third and fourth, the third was kind of eh. The fourth I fucking hated. I didn't like the fourth one at all. What was another one that I thought was good? Stuart Little 2 I feel like was good. Along with Trolls World Tour. That's one of the only... Okay, Trolls World Tour, because we did a podcast on that a while back.
Yeah, but that's because they had sequels that had lower They were followed up by first movies that were very much lower in expectations.
But still, it was better than the original.
Yeah, but those... Look, you gotta have... If yours is a good sequel, it has to have a good original.
Yeah.
It does. It can't... Like, honestly... If a sequel improves on the original that wasn't really that special to begin with, then I don't really count it as a good sequel. Only because the original is not something to be memorable about.
Okay. Anyway, so I guess, is there anything else you want to say about Hellfest that before we talk about, like, the ratings and stuff? Because I don't feel like this deserves a sequel. I feel like it's just good by itself.
I think in my rating, 6 out of 10.
You give it a 6 out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask why? I'm actually curious.
It's average. That's why.
Okay.
That's why it's average. I only give above average movies 7 and up.
Okay. Also, before I give my rating, this is the one other thing that bothered me about the ending of the movie. You don't see the guy's face, but he's got a daughter, and she doesn't even know the shit he's done.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's literally unfazed. Like, he's literally, like, unfazed by anything. And it's like, why? That's that's literally the ending to the fucking movie. That's literally it.
Uh-huh.
But, if I had to give my rating, this is kind of a hard one for me. Probably like a 5 out of 10. I feel like it's lower tier of the horror movies we've seen. I will say this, though, since I kind of did try and do a podcast with JC about this, but we technically didn't finish it. Worst movie I feel like we've ever seen horror movie-wise was Maximum Overdrive. That's probably the worst fucking movie I've seen that was a horror movie. Like, ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I tried to do a review on it, and it was really hard to fucking do, but I gave that a 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
That was so bad. But
Candyman movies the Candyman sequels are worse for me.
Okay, so wait, I think Maximum Overdrive is my worst movie I've seen that's horror movie related. Candyman 2 and 3 are kind of tied for second. I feel like they're a little bit better than Maximum Overdrive. Maximum Overdrive fucking sucked. It sucked ass.
Well, the next ones aren't gonna suck because I think they're really great.
What, they made Maximum Overdrive?
No, the next ones that we're gonna review. which I already have planned.
You butt.
We're gonna watch 2 movies with 2 words in them. Or 2 letters.
No! You're gonna make me watch it?
Yes.
No!
Yes.
Fuck! Great. Now, wait, are we gonna watch the original or the
No,
remakes?
we're gonna watch the remake of it.
Fuck, it's even worse! Anyway.
So yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a double feature of it and us. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay, then. Wait, didn't they have 2 parts for the It movies?
They did, but I just want to watch the first one.
Can we watch both?
I don't care.
Honey, let's watch both. Honey, if you're gonna watch one part, you gotta watch the second.
I really don't want to watch the second.
Honey, it's probably not that. I've never seen them. Anyway, before we get this even more out of hand, because this is something we don't have to put in the podcast, because it's just us babbling and shit. Anyway, that's the end of our triple feature for tonight.
All right.
Okay, so I can't fucking talk. But yeah, that's the end of our triple feature for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be on the lookout for some more podcasts coming up soon for our Halloween Spectacular. And I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And we're out.